don't want to set the world on fire.
Please welcome Tom Dummary.
A flame in your heart.
I'm here, and your
In
white
my
privileges are
heart,
going
I
to
have
save you
but
tonight, okay, guys?
one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim.
Any government is to monopolize as much violence as possible in order for it to inflict it on as many citizens as possible.
I've been on this like weird anarchist arc for a few months now. This is playing by their rules, exactly how they are written.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame.
You're watching the Dog and Chicken Show. Like, share, subscribe.
Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation, folks. How are we doing? Let's make sure you're getting every sweet, beautiful summer sound that... Yes, you are. Every summer sound that is my voice. How are we all doing, folks? Welcome, one and all. I am the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highlands, and one damn handsome man, if I do say so myself. Folks, how are we all doing? Let us grow the community. First of all, Big Bucket Empire, help us grow our community. Send this to a friend, like the page, or send stars to help us. Tom Foolery goes, y'all late. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. We're going to listen to Biden's speech. We're going to listen to him bloviate about things he knows nothing about. And then we're going to come here and talk about the important issues, because that's what, and hey, we got a Westo TV. The whole speech is a joke, 70% lies, and that's me being nice. Yeah, you're being nice by about 30%, let's be frank. I'm not drunk enough for this shit. To be honest, what Biden put forward was not a plan. There was no plan there. What he put forward was a wish list. Wouldn't it be nice if we could lower costs? Wouldn't it be nice if we could do this? Wouldn't it be nice if we could do that? Wouldn't it be nice if things were nice? Was basically the Biden speech. Bill, I see your handkerchief is correctly folded. Yes, I will get to that here in a moment. But amongst many other things, Biden's pocket square was folded improperly. This is the presidential pocket square folding, for those who don't know. Simple yet authoritative. Biden just had a basic corporate fold, which was, the conspiracy folks are going to love it. Love your president pocket fold. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Amber. Thank you. I see you've got an eye for fashion. Jesus. Tom Pinion. Biden already became the greatest president ever during this speech. You missed it. Ugh. Yuck, Tom. Yuck. Well, yeah, when he was bragging about creating 20 trillion jobs in his first minute in office, and how, don't worry, COVID's going away, and he's already solved World War III, which broke out under his administration. I got to ask you, Tom, as a guy that voted for Biden, are you having any trepidation, any buyer's remorse at all? I mean, World War III broke out underneath the guy's fucking watch. And, I mean, people who are saying that Trump was some Putin puppet, I mean, why would Putin go ahead and put Trump in if he was just going to wait till Biden was in power anyways to invade Ukraine? So that all fell apart. But I'm just curious, Tom, do you have any buyer's remorse in regards to a Biden vote? World War. Well, Tom, whether anyone wants to admit it or not, we are now in a war where all the major players are now involved. Even in the other World War I and World War II, most people were not actually involved in combat. Most of the world's population did not see combat or combat happen on them. So, yes, we are in a war where all the major players are in the conflict or in the theater, and we even had missiles fired by Russian Navy at an American submarine, and the submarine luckily got away. So, there's no other appropriate... I believe it was either Aristotle or Socrates who said the first step to proper wisdom is to call things by their proper names. What timeline are you in? This one, and it fucking delivers. So yeah, World War III has broken out under Biden, whether anybody wants to really admit that or not. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's great. What you going to get that? Where are you going to get that? You know, that's what Biden's thinking. He's like, well, shit, if Putin invades Ukraine, where am I going to get my 10%? Fuck. Yeah, that's so what are the American interests in Ukraine? Well, Biden's paycheck. Waka waka. West J or Hunter's paycheck. Sorry, raise wages, lowers costs. And raise prices is what I got from his economic piece. Yeah, I couldn't even make up heads or tails of what his economic plan was because it wasn't a plan. There was no plan presented tonight, folks. What he presented was a wish list of things that it would be nice if they happened, like end cancer. For fuck's sake, dude. Oh, Biden, I'm sure you're the first guy to think of that. Like, wait, really? Like, I get it. I get it. You got to have some sort of positivity, but that was one of those, like, I don't know if I would have ended the speech on that one. Tom, it's a cold world war, LOL. Tom, you realize there's people that are dying right now as we speak that are firing at each other and dying in a war. Yeah. So, yeah, we are, whether we like it or not, whether you love or hate. So I'm just curious, Tom. It's just yes or no question since you're in the comments. Good sir, buyer's remorse. You know, and I'll take silence as an answer. But Biden also fixed the squeaky sound doors make. You know, I'm sure to people who really love Biden, yes, he's the reason the sun rises and sets in the morning and evening. But no, that's the problem is we don't have good, stable leadership. And that's why Putin waited until we had weakness in the White House to invade Ukraine. So, yeah, careful what you wish for. TDS suffers, you might just get it. Alesto TV, where have I heard a lot of his speech? Right, Biden didn't plagiarize the previous admin. You know, there was a few spots, but Biden just stumbled too much over his delivery to the point where I don't really think he could have pulled off much there, just to be honest with you. No buyer's remorse. He's doing great. You know what? At this point, I gotta almost give you fucking credit for that one. Really. Like I said, like this is one of those. Yeah, there's what timeline are you living in? Would be the question I get because What's funny is everybody in America is living in this odd reality where you have two different. We got the same movie that's being played. It's on the same screen, but people are seeing two different movies. And this is a great example because to me, all I heard was weakness and nothing that really inspired much. Biden invented WD-40, I'm sure. And he shits apple pies if you vote Biden. Can we talk about Pelosi's face melting, Will Schweitzer? Yeah, like there was a side commenter in a side chat. Like, I'm shocked Pelosi hasn't jumped for joy yet. She won't rip up his speech. Yeah, that was really disgusting on her part when she did that. That was really bad. Like there was at that point, that's when I knew, like, I don't think we're coming back anymore. Trump broke too many people's brains. And even to this minute, like, yeah, when the Democrats get shellacked in the midterms, Biden's probably going to get impeached for his nefarious dealings in Ukraine, and probably rightly so. So we'll see what happens. And it was the Democrats that opened that Pandora's box of politicized impeachment, and so turnabout's fair play. West J. Ryan, Pelosi looked better than Kamala. Kamala just looked like she was waiting for him to say something stupid. Yeah, she was just doing the classic, like, just wondering, like, is he going to say something stupid, or is he going to have a medical episode so I can become the president? Like that was really like, it's the old joke. The vice president's primary job is to inquire about the health of the president daily. And that's at Phil. I'd be happy to have you on to talk about it anytime. Well, fucking A right, Tom. Yes. And I'm sure all of those just huge accomplishments. Biden could point to an infrastructure bill. And that was it as his grand accomplishments. And then it was so bizarre when people were booing about people not like people were paying less tax, and that got booed in DC. That was fascinating. But yes, also, for those who don't know, the Tom Pinion show, Tom Pinion right here. Check him out, Tomfoolery on YouTube. It's really he does a lot of streaming, does a lot of politics. Definitely got to check out. That is, of course, right after you like, share, subscribe to KOE Nation on YouTube, KOE Nation on Twitch, KOE Nation on TikTok, and then head over to Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube and Facebook, because that's where you need to be. Like basically right here. Big Buckin' Empire, Tom Pinion. We go live every week. Yep, there you go. Reminds me of Salvador Dali's Melting Clocks. Alesto, Biden should have lost everyone's vote when he quite literally had a Benghazi 2.0. Yeah, he has not been having a good go of it, has he? Tom Pinion, we go live every week. And yes, we do. We go live either Thursdays for Thirsty Thursdays or Fridays for Buckin' Fridays over at Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube and Facebook. Like it says right here, folks, Big Buckin' Empire. You know it's the place to be. It's the place to be for you and for me to get all of that beautiful KOE content. Yes, Tom Pinion goes, I'm working on a hit piece on Mr. Girl right now, but I'll put that off to do a show tonight if you want. Well, actually, once I go off the air here, I got a lot of filming I got to do for a couple of side projects. Tony made me promise I would film some intros for him tonight. So, but yeah, shit, we should get together sometime, Tom. There's more days in the week. But yes, Tom thinks Biden's doing great. I think... and let's be frank, Tom, like here's one way to know. If within the next 3 years, there's some point in Europe that becomes the next East and West Berlin, where there's this fucking line where you have to fucking play around with it, and it's kind of like North Korea's demilitarized zone. If we have a new version of that within the next 3 years, then I will say unironically Biden goes down as the worst president in American history, worse than James Polk, Millard Fillmore, Buchanan, Pierce, like fucking dangerously bad. If he can turn this around, he might have a fucking actual argument for being a fairly good president. Now, unless he turns out to be FDR 2.0, I really don't think that's going to be the case. Tom Pinion, I come on Big Bucket every time I get an invite. I'll be happy to talk to Biden first year on your side. Well, yeah, come on to Big Buckin'. Yes. Oh, well. Yes, folks, this is called is this like the social media equivalent of like a dating app? Is that what's happening here? I don't know. But Biden is second to Nixon as the worst president. Alesto TV. And I wouldn't even put Nixon as the worst. I've done a lot of research in the U.S. presidents when I was doing a presidential birthday toast series, which is actually why I had this bottle of Madeira. I got about halfway through it, and then some life events hit. But Nixon, I would say, is below the middle line, but he's definitely not worse. Like Franklin Pierce was just a stumblebum drunk who like barely even cared about what was going on in the presidency. Buchanan fucking almost destroyed the presidency. He even joked himself he might be the final president of the United States. I would put them definitely worse. Did we ever place bets on when Biden gets replaced? When he loses an election? So yes, he is going to lose the next election. So yes, Tom, that's Woodrow Wilson worst. Oh, Chicken thinks Woodrow Wilson is the worst. I'm trying to think. Who is the 7th president of the United States? That's the one he was referred to as his accidency. He's the one that I go with as the worst president. And 7th president. No, not Andrew Jackson. I'm trying to think. Who was the guy who died after somebody? They called him his accidency. Oh, Tyler. Tyler. There we go. Tyler. He's the one that I think is the worst president because he took over after Harrison, and he was a pretty ineffectual president. And then once he left the presidency and the Civil War started, he actually accepted elected office in the Congress of the Confederacy. So to me, that's pretty bad. Like the word traitor gets bandied around a lot, but that's very rare that you can actually measure somebody's traitorousness to their nation. So that was one that I was never a big fan of. Woodrow Wilson, worse. Sorry, let me correct. Second to Nixon as the worst president of our generation. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Like one of the worst of our modern era. I could like there would be argument, but it would be an argument. It wouldn't be like, how could you possibly say that? Like, Tom Pinion, Obama was the worst. Like, he wasn't the worst president, but one thing that was uniquely bad in his time as presidency was, now you can say he was a horrible person, yes, but when he unilaterally executed an American citizen who was unaware of any charges against him, and he named himself judge, jury, and executioner of an American citizen, that was a uniquely bad moment in Obama's presidency. And you can give every argument for why Anwar al-Awlaki was this, that, and the other. And yes, he was an awful person, but he was still an American citizen, and he was entitled to his day in court. He was entitled to his due process at the very least. So the fact that he could have even been made, like they could have put a headline out that, okay, Awlaki, you need to turn yourself in. After that, it's kind of game over, but he had no idea of even any charge against him. And to me, that is a uniquely bad moment in American history. And that will forever tarnish Obama's record, especially as like now it doesn't seem like as big a deal, but in the years to come, that's going to fucking be bad. Like 150 years from now, that's going to be one of the big scandals of his presidency. Jay West Ryan says Obama was awful, tied with Bush in last 30 for Bush 2 in the last 30 years. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Bush Jr. And, to be frank, there's a reason he doesn't travel internationally. Because he doesn't know, they're not quite sure if someone's going to try and arrest him and take him before the Hague. Yeah. So that's why Bush doesn't travel internationally much. He paints portraits of soldiers who were killed in the operations that he sent them off to. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that one there. Yeah, that's what he does now. Psychologists, psychiatrists, if you got any fucking theory on that one, I'm all ears. Jesus Christ, that one's a little much. Alessa TB, I'm surprised you don't like Obama at Tom. Biden is close to Obama as someone can get. Alesto, I think Tom's being ironic there. I think he's just being sarcastic. I'm pretty sure he's all for the Biden. But now I'm curious for the folks within the audience, what were your thoughts on the speech? My thoughts, Biden hit a couple of key points. He did the wish list, which is what Democrats love to hear. Wouldn't it be great if we had more money for this? Wouldn't it be great if there was more of that? Wouldn't it be great if we had less of this? Wouldn't it be nice if things were nice? And wouldn't it be better if bad things were not as bad? That was basically the speech. But I'm just curious what your thoughts were at home there. Basically, you kind of have to grade it on your political lens that you look at it through. If you're a Democrat, he probably gets 4 out of 5 stars. If you're a Republican, it's probably 1.5 out of 5 just because he threw the defund the police people over the side. But I think that was just a gimme before he got into his fucking gun control diatribe where fucking Biden wants to infringe on the Second Amendment even more. We're going to ban assault weapons and high capacity, really they're standard capacity magazines. But, that's just, is what it is. Alesta, why leave a multi-million-dollar ranch in Texas? I don't know. Tom Pinion, I'm not being ironic. I'm not grading the person. This partisan crap. I grade it on what gets done. And all he can point to is an infrastructure bill and a botched exit from Afghanistan where he left people behind, which I don't care how you try to fucking paint it. It's an old military adage. You don't leave a good man behind, and Biden left our operatives behind, and that will forever stain his administration. There will be no way that the history books can paint that up. So and it's his mistake. The buck stops with him, is what it is. Credit for ending the war, but the getting out, he left good people behind, and that is going to be remembered forever. It's going to be remembered pretty much in the same vein as our exit from Vietnam. Chicken. Republicans picked Kim Reynolds for a response Why not Kristi Noem? I don't know. Well, you see, you come here to the K.O.E. Nation for the real response from real America as to what's going on post State of the Union, folks. So this is the post State of the Union response from the K.O.E. Nation, and the state of our union is not good. It is not stable. The future is uncertain, and outcomes are frail, folks. We have had World War III break out in the within the last 10 fucking days. We have war, plague, famine, fucking death, disease, yes, we're pretty close to the 7 signs we need, folks. It's not a good fucking state of affairs we find ourselves in. So, yes, like I said, the state of our union, not perfect. Now, we are America. We are a great nation. We're a beautiful nation. And we will find a way through. We have had tepid, weak, unqualified, unaware leadership in the White House before. We have had weakness in the White House. Now, luckily for us, we do have the military might. Our soldiers on the front line, the people that are fighting this war, still have the fire in their belly, and they still have the ability to fucking press on. And it's not been the first time. So they will be able to get through it, but it's really sad that they're in this position because we have somebody that occupies Pennsylvania Avenue. We don't have a leader. If you haven't gotten the hint, I am heated because this is BS. Well, yes, you just heard a bullshit speech by a bullshitting politician who spent his whole life bullshitting people, and he somehow bullshitted his way into this office through bullshittery. Of course he's gonna fucking sprinkle a little more political BS bullshit, say whatever he's got to say to appease 51% in the room, and that's it. So we will see where it goes from here, folks, but this is interesting times we find ourselves in. Interesting times. Now, Wes J. Ryan, I'm just curious, since you're in the audience, what night are we going live tonight? Is it going to be Thursday or is it going to be Friday? Yeah, that's a very, very interesting question. But now, curious, when it comes to the gun control diatribe, Biden wants to ban standard capacity magazines, so magazines hold more than 10 rounds. Right here's a magazine that holds more than 10 rounds right here. So Biden would want to ban this innocuous little piece of plastic because it holds more than 10 rounds. Okay, this is ignorance on display. The guy's just ignorant as to what gun culture is in America. And this is something that we're just going to have to push back on, because when it comes to the gun grabbers, if you give them an inch, they want to take a mile. They're going to go, because they're going to want to go down from 10, then to 5, then to 3, then to, well, why not just a single shot rifle to the point where all you're allowed to have is maybe like a single action revolver and a double barrel shotgun or a double barrel rifle. So yeah, if you give them an inch, they're going to try and take a mile. So yeah, fuck it. No, fuck that new gun control legislation bullshit. And universal background checks, folks. The minute the government knows who has what and where everything is, we are in for a world of fucking trouble. So yeah, don't back down an inch on Biden's gun control proposals. Now, luckily, he doesn't have the power to do it in the Senate, and in the House, they would barely be able to pass it. And the Dems are going to get shellacked in the midterms, is my prediction. Now anything could happen between here and the midterms. A lot of things could happen in a few months. I mean, 2020 proved that all to us in spades, folks. But my prediction is, as things are looking right now, the Democrats get shellacked in the midterms. The Republicans are definitely going to take back the House. And the Senate is probably going to flip Republican. Now, it's going to be a slim majority, maybe 1, maybe 2 seats, but the Republicans are still going to eke out a Senate majority, and that will be telling for Joe Biden, because Biden's going to get impeached if that's the case. Whether you think it's justified or not, whether you like it or not, Biden's going to get impeached. Yeah. Now we're going to get to the point in America where presidents just get impeached when their party loses Congress. Are you ready for that, folks? Are you ready for that? Is that something that you're looking forward to? Because that's the Pandora's box that the Democrats opened. Because they impeached the president over bullshit because they just couldn't handle the fact that he won the election, and they had to have even more public therapy sessions about 2016. And what's really funny is they're still to this day are having fucking public therapy sessions over 2016. But like I've often said, it's kind of funny. 2016 might have actually been the most important election in our lifetime, because we always hear this one's the most important. I think 2016 was. Because look how many fucking Supreme Court justices got confirmed in one term. Biden's going to get through his whole 4 years, and he's going to get this one Supreme Court justice, and that's it. Trump got 3. Okay, so 2016, you could very much make the argument was the important election. I want to see Biden get fully impeached. He might. Democrats paved the roads always. Biden to court should have been impeached 3-4 times. Biden to count should have been impeached 3-4 times over. Yeah. Unfortunately, like you go back to like the last 3-4 presidents, you could make the argument like when Obama took the seat at the head of the UN Security Council, like it was first couple weeks in. Technically, people who were complaining about the emoluments clause for Trump not giving up his corporation, what Obama did there then in that case was an impeachable offense. And so that's something that a lot of people seem to forget, is that there's very strict rules, and they only seem to get a plot on the presidency. There's very strict rules on them, and they only seem to get applied when people that the elites don't want in power seem to make it there. I'm sure there's no reason for that. I'm sure there's none. But folks, this has been a very special evening's presentation of the State of the Union. Now, folks, be sure to like, share, subscribe right down there. K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, K.O.E. Nation on Twitch, K.O.E. Nation on TikTok. This is all very on brand. That's K as in King, O as in oh my God. You can find K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. E as in extremely happy to know that you can find K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch, folks. And I am signing off, and I'm handing it off to all of you beautiful people out there in the K.O.E. Nation. So, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us this evening for my State of the Union reply and response, folks. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower. Folks, I am the prince and potentate of political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highlands, the conqueror of the ethereal, and you can find me also at Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube and Facebook. And be sure to check me out at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and on Spotify. Also, folks, let's see if I can pull it up here, you beautiful, beautiful people. Yes, there it is. Linktree/Big Buckin' right there, folks. Be sure to check it out. It's got all the links for Big Buckin' Empire, K.O.E. Nation, Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, and more, where you can find all of your beautiful K.O.E. content. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Raise a glass to yourselves. I hope to find all of you back here happy, healthy, much the wiser, folks. I can't wait to see you right back here at the K.O.E. Nation. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Thank you, and God bless America.
And see if it just smooths itself out.
Back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost. We gotta take it down. Let you down slow.